Hi guys, welcome. Good to see you. Alright, so I know in the previous video we were discussing this book, What Does Trust Mean to You? This is the most recent book that I published. It's published on May 2022. I also gave different examples of workplace betrayals, and I'm sure some of you that work for someone else, whether you're working in office or at work, whichever department, whichever workplace you are, I'm sure you guys have different types of workplace betrayals, okay? And I gave a few examples of that. And also, if you come across this book in any of the platforms that sells books, or even Amazon, if you just go to Amazon and look for What Does Trust Mean to You, you should be able to find this book. And it's the name is by Suraya, Suraya. And if you actually go straight to page 186, you should be able to read stories from different people, telling us about what happened to them at work, okay? You might relate or you might learn one or two things, okay? Now, the other book that we've been talking about for quite some time was this book. The title is Be True to Yourself. Are You a Loyal Friend? So again, it's about loyalty. I know for some of you, you're probably wondering why you guys are talking about loyalty. Loyalty is the everyday thing, guys. Loyalty is everyday thing, but loyalty actually means different thing to different people. Most people might not know that, but some of you, I'm sure, you know that, because I know I have very smart people here. So today I'm just going to give you guys a simple example of loyalty. And the thing with loyalty is that, how should I put it? The thing with loyalty is sometimes I think we sometimes make assumptions, and some of the common assumption, I think you might agree with me on this, is when you have a childhood friend, you guys grow up together. My childhood friend, you went to the same high school or elementary school, and then you lost contact, and then a few years later you reconnect. Some of the common mistakes that we make is we reconnect with people based on assumption that they are still the same people. People actually change. They are not the same people. They are not. If you get to know them closely, you'll realize they are not the same people. And even though they are still the same people, chances are you are not the same person anymore. And that's how sometimes friendships get sour, people get betrayed. You get surprised why you are betrayed, because you made assumption that, oh, because this person is your best friend, you don't expect that. Even family members, people change, people grow, and different circumstances also change people. And it's very easy for us to point fingers very quickly when someone betrays you without actually looking inward. Are you still the same person, or you have changed? Or are they still the same person, or you didn't realize that they have changed? Okay? And there's a lot of great analogies to learn about that. If you grab this book, it's actually in Kindle or Amazon, but if you're lazy like me, you don't like to go to Amazon, you don't like buying books, no problem. I got you. You can just come to this channel and listen to different stories. Usually I find listening to stories is great because you can actually learn something from people's stories. And you might also find that some of those stories are similar to your stories. And then you come to realize that, listen, I am not alone, right? Okay, so So, oh my God, look at the time. All right, so I'm just going to tell you guys a quick story about betrayal. And this is a story of a stepdad that, I don't know how I should say it. Stepdad that claims that he is in love with his stepdaughter. The stepdaughter she's in her 20s. And now she planned to, how should I put it, delete or murder his wife so that he can marry his stepdaughter, right? And the mistake that she did, or what he didn't realize, is while he was making all these plans with his stepdaughter, she didn't realize that his wife had a listening device. She had installed listening device in different places in the house because she kind of knew something is happening, but she can't really put her hands or her finger on it. It's like she doesn't want to call her husband a liar, and she doesn't want to also accuse her daughter wrongly. And so she was just in a very complicated scenario, right? So she decided that, you know what, I'm just going to put some listening device and see if I can listen to something. And then I think she hid a listening device also in the camera, like in the basement. She had like where she's able to place camera, she did it. Where she cannot put a camera, she put a listening device. Okay, and that's how she was able to get the recordings of her husband, her beloved husband, planning to delete her, and so that he can elope with her daughter. And the daughter and the husband, they're actually claiming that they are in love. Very weird scenario. Again, and that's why we always come in. So what does trust mean to you if you are to ask this mom, or if you are to ask this stepdad? Where does his loyalty lie? What broke the loyalty? Like, what's going on? Like, what's up, yo? Can you imagine? Like, it's very interesting sometimes how people can surprise you. If you try to put yourself in that woman's place, you see videos, you listen to recordings that your own daughter is messing with your husband, and now your husband is planning to basically delete you so that he can elope with your daughter, right? So sometimes we think that we know people. You might think that you know people, but you don't. And the one thing that God has given women is that sense of sensing, a sense of sensing that there is something going on, but I cannot put my finger on it. And those instincts are very important. Once you feel like your instincts is telling you something, listen to it. Okay? So it's very, very important to understand. And it goes back to one of the videos I've been saying, and I've always been saying that let's do refresher. Let's do refresher on friendships. Let's do refresher on relationships. Let's do check-in, right? Most people think maybe it's a crazy thing to do, but I think it's really great to always check in and also to check yourself. The advantage of checking in, because you need to know, are we still in the same page? You know? Because if you start seeing that you guys are not in the same page, things are not going as it should, there's nothing wrong with backing off. Because there's a lot of fishes in the sea. So you should not keep yourself trapped in a situation because of what people will say, or because you don't want to change your environment, or you are too comfortable. Sometimes people get too comfortable, then they put up with situations. So I don't believe that anybody should put up with situation because you don't want change. Though change is interesting, but change is good. Okay? Anyways, guys, that is it for now. There's more of such videos coming. Subscribe, and if you did, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Yes. Kama tu atukupandishe we Mungu, tunaweza kupandisha naye.